The hero or heroine is an important part of Greek mythology. War and violence were a part of life, and the hero became a figure that people admired and aspired to become. In this presentation, we will look at the hero and how they were revered in society. We will also discuss how Achilles and Helen from the Iliad fit into this part of Greek culture. So what is a hero? In ancient Greek traditions, heroes were humans, male or female, of the remote past, endowed with superhuman abilities and descended from the immortal gods themselves. They were expected to embody a specific set of values or qualities which made them stand out from the average human. For example, in the image that you see, some heroes may have been attractive, tall, or skilled in battle. These heroes had qualities that you wouldn't find in an average person, and that made them something to be desired. Often heroes were revered to the point of worship. Within Greek society, they had something called cults. These cults were religious or social gatherings that met to worship a god or goddess. They would complete rituals, do sacrifices, and offer gifts to their gods. Some of these cults were created in worship of heroes. They would perform the same type of rituals in honor of a hero. For example, they would sacrifice a ram for Patroclus. The reality of humanity is that all men are mortal. This is what divides the heroes from the gods. Homer appreciated this and used it to emphasize humanity and the superiority of the human race. He portrayed the gods as frivolous creatures, while portraying Achilles as a very virtuous man. A hero's death is what allowed them to be idolized. Though they completed great feats in life, their heroic deaths are what immortalized them forever. In the end, they became just as significant as gods because their death brought them eternal honor.
Hi, my name is Karen. So I'll be discussing about Helen. So Helen in the Iliad is portrayed as a human Aphrodite, and Aphrodite is known to be the Olympian goddess of love, beauty, and pleasure and fertility. So her beauty is compared to Aphrodite, kind of in a human's perspective. She's almost seen as a human god. So we also see Helen being seen as a god when she defies the Greek culture and run away with Paris, leaving behind her husband and child. So from the Greek culture, or in the Greek culture, women were supposed to stay home or have children and raise their kids and be submissive to their husbands. But Helen defies this by running away with Paris, and this was so uncommon or unheard of from a mortal woman. So we also see Helen having a godlike nature when when she runs away with Paris, and she kind of disregards or doesn't think about the consequences that will follow, or didn't seem to care about the consequences that will follow when she runs away with Paris, leaving behind a husband and her daughter. So her actions later on will lead to the Trojan War, and has the power to kind of go home and in that process stopping the war, but she doesn't do anything. So this is so similar to the gods in the Iliad, where they're seen to be very cunning and manipulative and self-centered and have the power to stop the war, but for some reason they almost seem to enjoy the war and the consequences because they were immortal. Although Helen is immortal, she does share the same traits as the gods of being manipulative and self-centered. Yeah. So the next one is adulteress, whereby she and the goddess Aphrodite kind of share that trait, whereby Helen is seen to be an adulteress and homewrecker when she approaches Hector and seduces Hector. Similar to Aphrodite characters and habits of enchanting or using their sexuality to attract men at any cost. All right, thank you.
My name is Sean, and I'll be talking about how Achilles is portrayed as a hero in the Iliad. First of all, he puts war above all else, including love. He cares more for glory and honor than that. And this is first shown when he condemns Helen's importance in the Iliad. First of all, he is the only Achaean to reject Helen and her seductiveness, and no mere man could refuse her, but Achilles is the only one mentioned that did not fall for her in her looks, and actually almost holds a hatred for her because of that. This could attest to the fact that he does not want anyone to hold power over him, like Helen. Also, later on, Achilles is furious over losing Briseis, but it's more due to the insult on his glory of the loss rather than losing her herself. Next, Achilles cares more for glory than death. He chooses this immortal glory over life. He is aware of this fate, that he will die if he continues to fight in this war, but he does not care for this or this warning, and instead is more focused on the fact that his extreme combat skill will immortalize him. So with this, he sets honor and glory above everything else. He stays out of the war for a period of time due to being insulted, and only joins later to achieve the glory near the end. But he actually stays out of it for a while because of this insult, and eventually has to be convinced, which is more he convinced himself that it will be worth it. And this obsession of just honor and glory rivals the level of a god's, which is what attests to him being a hero. And finally, that is why he is godlike. First of all, he is descendant of the goddess Thetis, which is a sea goddess, and then his father is a mortal man. So, still being born immortal is what humanizes him, as opposed to him just being a god. But he still has abilities that are above every other man, which is why he is superior to all other men. And as quoted, he excels the Greek chieftains in physical strength, in beauty, and in skill of arms. So, furthermore, he is true and unwavering in his belief of glory and honor throughout battle. So, in all aspects of Achilles, he is just constantly portrayed as being almost like a god among men. So, he is still mortal, but he is still always above them, which is why he is a hero in the Iliad.